cannot trust the Nigerian judiciary. I'm not a lawyer, I don't know anything about law, but I know that by and large, people have lost confidence in the judiciary. A lot has to be done in this area. Finally, on equity. Equity goes beyond equality. It means giving everyone what they need to succeed. The lead speaker also quoted MPO Abiola here, which sums it up. There has to be equity. And if there is no equity, then there cannot be peace anywhere. Finally, in conclusion, he had requested our father here to continue to pray. On that, I partly disagree with him. Yes, it is good to pray. Omar had been praying and God had answered. If we look at all that we have gone through in this country since he started, probably this country, if God didn't answer his prayers, probably this country would have gone up in flames. So even the Bible says, when you pray, you must walk. Yes, he had prayed. Yes, we continue to pray, but must also walk. Thank you very much.
Allow me to stand by the laid down protocol, but let me welcome you all to this auspicious occasion. May I sincerely thank and appreciate the family of the late Chief E.K. Clark for the honor of inviting me as special guest of honor to this late Chief E.K. Clark Memorial Lecture and Day of Tribute. The lecture taking place here today at the NAF Nigerian NAF Conference Center and Suite. I sincerely welcome and thank you all for honoring the invitation to this grand occasion to honor the memory of that great patriot and patriarch of the Clark family dynasty, that great statesman, the clarion voice of the people of Niger Delta and all Nigerians that truly love and believe in one Nigeria, no matter how it is made or formed. I was born a Nigerian, and I do not bother about how the name came about. But I am a Nigerian, and let us believe in Nigeria, and let us make sure that Nigeria continue as Nigeria. Chief E.K. Clark believed in one Nigeria, a Nigerian that endeavor to attain true federalism, as you will see here from as soon as we've heard from the lecture, from the main speaker. You are welcome to this memorial lecture to honor him and bid him farewell from Abuja to his final resting home in Kiagbodo town in Delta State. Today, you are invited to listen and to hear and know about what our beloved elder E.K. Clark lived and believed in the service, and love of the country, of his country. I cannot help but to infringe on the topic of today's lecture and what we shall all take home. Would what our heroes past, like Chief E.K. Clark, what he had left to us to be in vain? To me, certainly not. We have survived as a united country these over 50 years, especially after our crisis, and still looking for that perfect federal system of government that he had worked for. I'm sure Nigerians will do whatever they can to achieve this. Let us today concentrate our attention to the theme of the lecture, Quest for Unity, Equity, and Justice in Nigeria. Shall the labor of our heroes past be in vain? And try to answer it in the affirmative, as we have heard it has been answered by the panel earlier on today. Although this program was brief just for the lecture, I'm delighted to know that it has been joined with the other event, the tribute event that was to have come on Friday, May the 9th. At least it is being taken now. So I thank you all for coming. What can one say any more about Chief E.K. Clark? You've heard what he has done, the way he had really made sure that during that period that he was working with me, especially at the end of the Civil War, his courage and tenacity to ensure that he carried out what we wanted about reconciliation, rehabilitation, and reconstruction. Yes, he did so well, the sort of thing he did, taking his daughter, Rebecca Okorodudu, to the Queen's School. My goodness, just to show that, yes, we want to remain one and put right from everything that has gone wrong. No, I thank him very much for his courage in that respect. And it is not only in the East Central State that he did that, but his effort also extended to various northern states, sending them teachers, and help that they can, from the Midwest. So he had done very well, and all along he is fighting for a Nigeria that is fair, Nigeria that is justice, Nigeria that is equity. And this is what he has told us, he's left for us, to make sure that all Nigerians continue to ensure that Nigeria live as one country, one united, with justice, equity, and fair play. So I thank you all for coming and for attending this ceremony, and I hope that we've taken home his effort of ensuring that we believe, trust in Nigeria, but a Nigeria that is fair to all. Thank you very much indeed, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Please be seated, please be seated. Let me appreciate all our leaders here and my wife that are here for this twin program of the memorial lecture and a tribute in honor of my father, Chief E.K. Clark. We appreciate so much. Let me join the children, the direct biological children, and all of us who are his political children to thank you. It's difficult to end comments on E.K. Clark. Somebody asked me in an interview, now E.K. Clark is gone in the Niger Delta, do you think you can have a replacement for E.K. Clark? And I said that you don't need to look for a replacement for E.K. Clark because you will not get it. Because he's quite a unique person. Even at his age, his memory If you mention your name as a young man of 30-something, 40-something, he will tell you what he did with your father. Not so many people have that kind of memory. And even listening to all the contributors, you really see that he was a very courageous person, very vocal. And one key thing, he believed in the unity of this country. But he doesn't believe that any section of the country should suffer. So these are the things, and he's ready to tackle anybody at any time. If he believes that you've said something does not fit in his belief about building a united Nigeria. People may see him as controversial in one way or the other, but if you listen to it, all his statement is about a country that must remain one, a country that every section, every individual should have the same treatment. These are the qualities of Ike Clark. And what I told the person who asked me the question is that we cannot replace him. All what we have to do is to make sure that we come up with annual lecture or something that will continue to advocate his own vision and philosophy. And doing that gradually, we're going to impact on the younger ones what Ike Clark stood for. We're all leaders in our own rights, but everybody has his own style of leadership. And I mentioned to that person that even if you read through the history of West Africa, you see that kingdoms rise and fall. And you hardly get, from the same kingdom, you hardly get two leaders that will do the same thing. One leader, one king, powerful king will come and build the empire. Sometimes the weak king will come and the empire will even go. But then this empire continues to endure. So Ike Clark has done his best. It's left for us to believe in his own vision for life and his own philosophy. When my good friend Michael Zakome spoke, he talks about the issue of one-party state. And when you listen to the news, read the show, go through the show media, that's one thing that on an occasion like this, probably one need to. Yes, one-party states, countries have managed one-party states. Yes, one-party state may not be an evil after all, because Julius Nyerere of Tanzania used one-party state to stabilize his country in their early days of independence. He felt that his country has, just like Nigeria, too many tribes and tongues, two principal religions, Christianity and Islam. If he allowed multi-parties, some parties will toe the lines of religion, some will toe the lines of tribes, and unity will be difficult. But it was properly planned, it was not by accident. If we must, as a nation, go one party, then it must be designed, it must be planned by experts, and we know what we are going in for. But if we come through the back door by political manipulations, then we're heading to crisis. So I will advise that probably a country like Nigeria is better we allow the system to stay as it is. Yes, the multi-party, but if we, for some reason, we must go one party, then it should not be an accident. It should not be by political manipulation. Because if you read this book, How Democracies Die, written by two American professors, then you see that some of these are the symptoms of the death of democracies in nations. And Nigeria is a complex country. And I think it's better we manage the situation as it is, that manipulating the system in a way that will suffocate the country to death. I thank God. I thank all of you.
A life of sacrifice, a life of justice, a life that is valued. But most importantly, his continued living that life to the end. I listened to my brother Mike when he talked about, may the labor of our heroes past not be in vain. I'm sorry, I'm happy that Gowon is here, and I'm happy that Jonathan is here. But I can tell you, their sacrifice is in vain. They've sacrificed for nothing. We're in this country when people were protesting when there was no need to protest under Jonathan. Where are those protesters? Have they died? Where are they? So why are we saying it should not be in vain? Jonathan increased fuel from 87 naira to 120 and people were protesting in this country. And when it was 900, they were not protesting. Are they dead? So why are we saying it should not be in vain? People protested when naira was 180 and when it was 1,500, they're not protesting. Are they dead? So let's not say it should not be in vain. I spoke a few days ago and people said I'm demarketing Nigeria. When it's true to be demarketed, World Bank has just shown that 75% of Nigerians in rural areas are poor. Is World Bank demarketing Nigeria? UNICEF 2 days ago released that Nigeria now have over 2 million malnourished children, the second highest in the world. Are they demarketing Nigeria? Let's face the reality. Their labor is in vain. We have a country now that is not democratic. We are not a democratic country. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Is the election that happened in Edo, is it democratic? Just the last election in Edo is the most undemocratic election. Everybody knows who won that election. So why are we keeping it and saying, let their work not be in vain? It is in vain. So we can start picking the pieces now, because they've destroyed everything people have sacrificed for. Look at what is happening in Nigeria today. Above all, Gowon, you sacrificed everything. The country people sacrifice has turned into a crime scene. All we do today is stealing. You know, and we have to do something. All we need to do, he lived a courageous life. May God Almighty that called him home grant him eternal rest and grant us the courage to look into what our Father lived for and start picking our pieces. May God bless all of you.
First of all, I'm happy, and we're all happy, seeing the assemblage of leaders across the country here. We are here to celebrate the life and times and the services of Pa Clark. He did a lot for my people, the Jaw people, the people of the Niger Delta, but also for all Nigerians of goodwill who want a Nigeria that is equal, a Nigeria that is free for all, a Nigeria that is united, a Nigeria that is just and united and peaceful. So we thank him for his life of service and courage to our people. Well, Pa Clark, everybody knew him as a very courageous person, selfless person. So there are a lot of lessons he taught about service and about courage, and about the need for us to build bridges of understanding. I mean, you can see from the people assembled here and from all their reactions since his death. Thank you very much.
He lived a life of justice, equity, fairness to all Nigerians, to all sections of Nigerians. And he maintained so consistently a valued life that we all need to emulate. He was not selective when he's speaking. He spoke for every Nigerian, and he spoke based on truth. He was fearless, even when it does not affect his own area. He will still say, this is the right thing. And that's what we require in Nigeria today. We now live in an unjust, unfair, uncaring society. So we need to do the right thing. I said it when I spoke. We now live in an unjust, unfair, uncaring Nigeria. So we will say that let the labor of our heroes not be in vain. But I think their labor is in vain. Because whatever they wished, we are living the opposite of it.
Well, let me start by saying that this country has lost one of its greatest citizens ever, because Edwin Clark was a great pan-Nigerian who lived and believed in this country. He grew up in seeing the founding fathers of this country. He was one of the young men around them. He was a Zikist from a young age, followed the Nnamdi Azikiwe, and was part of all the political processes that brought us thus far. So there are foundational ideals, foundational ethos, principles on which our fathers believed that we must stay together as a country. I may be repeating myself too much, but there are other countries where people said, no, let's go away, separate ways, like India and Pakistan before they're independent. But our fathers, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Awolowo, Sadwana, all Tafawa Balewa, they believed we should stay together, but on the principles of equity, fairness, justice for all Nigerians, on the principles of hard work, on the principles of each of us respecting federalism. So those were what E.K. Clark grew up with, and he preached it till the end. Last week I was in Lagos celebrating similarly the life of Ayo Adebanjo, who was one of the greatest Awoists, and he was one of the closest friends of Edwin Clark. You know, they died just 3 days apart. In fact, Chief Edwin Clark did not know his friend has died because we didn't tell him. And 3 days after, he was gone. But these are the principles of our fathers. So our takeaway is for us to keep believing in Nigeria. Nigeria is a country, one of the best countries in the world. Let us all work towards building this country, but ensure that those foundational principles of equity, justice, and fairness are upheld, so all Nigerians can have that sense of belonging, sense of inclusion, sense of seeing hope in this country and building it for our children.
The leader of the Ijaw nation, and also a leader of modern day Nigeria. The reason is that he realized that he was from a nationality within a nation, that's the Ijaw people, and that there was no way you could wish away his place of birth. So all he preached was what you call unity in diversity. We are diverse, we are pluralistic. We can never be the same people. I am from Ivukwe, near Agenebode, Esako East. I cannot be a Hausa or Fulani man. I cannot be Yoruba, Igbo, or Ogoni. I cannot be Efik, Ibibiu, or TV. That must be given to me where I come from. Clark preached that. But he also said, in having this one nation, we must have it in a state of equity, social justice, and egalitarianism. That was why his common slogan was, we are all Nigerians. He believed that monkey should not walk for bamboo to eat. He believed that the hewers and drawers of water must be allowed to also benefit from it. He believed that the goose that lays the golden egg must be fed to be able to continue to lay the golden egg. He did not believe in a Nigeria where unitarism was imposed on us under the thin guide of federalism. So all his life, he fought for a united Nigeria imbued with peace, social justice, and egalitarianism. He was also not corrupt. He's one of the few politicians never found to have been corrupt. And he fought till the last breath in his body. At 97, 3 months shy of 98, Clark was still appearing on television, pontificating, crusading for a better society. And he died a happy man, though all he fought for had not been achieved. But he died happy that he had played his part. So all Nigerian leaders must emulate this great man, that leadership is a process of service. It is not for personal aggrandizement. Leadership should not be obtained just for the sake of dressing yourself with the robes of an emperor, rather than as a servant leader. Clark was a servant leader, and he was a general who led from the front, not from the back. It was Alexander the Great who said he is more afraid of a group of one lion leading 100 sheep than a group or a troop of 100 sheep leading one lion. Because leadership, particularly transformational leadership, is one that galvanizes and energizes the people to follow a true leader and do what he says, what he does, not what he says. Leadership by example, not leadership by present. E.K. Clark was a great pan-Nigerian nationalist, not sectional. For him, I can say his life was one of winnie, widdy, wissy. He came, he saw, and he conquered.
You can imagine talking to a child of 6, 7, that kind of age. You know, it stays with you. It stays with you. And then over life, but one of the most beautiful ones I had was when I got married. As I was being escorted out, my name. I went through life as Rebecca Clark, and I was always thought of as some West Indian or kind of foreigner. And eventually, when I was getting married, I insisted that I be christened the native name. I got a native name, but according to one of my brothers, Kai, you went very bad. You just took a very strong Nigerian name. Now your name is Okorodudu, Rebecca Okorodudu. Now I'm a Nigerian, so I was very happy to be a Nigerian. But the one thing he said to me while I was being escorted away, he said to me, there's nothing I can give to you, but the only thing you can give in return is respect. But know something. You have two parents, a mother, father from that side, a mother, father from this side, and they are all equal. Nobody is more important than the other person. And any day you take one to be more important, you're going to have problems at home. I don't know if that's what fathers say to their daughters, but I prayed very hard that I lived that for him. Because if you did anything, he would say, did you do to your father-in-law? Until my father-in-law passed. He'd be like, what did you say to your father-in-law? You do it to your mother. Did you do to your mother-in-law? So it was always like that. And he always came last. You always give him last, not first, And of course you have families. There are always family tragedies. But he will always say, know yourself. Know yourself. And be truthful to yourself. And so if you know yourself and speak your truth, it might not come to pass immediately, but it will come to pass. So as a kind of father that I had, he looked at he ruled democratically. When you are doing anything, you voted. Us children, you vote yes, you vote no. Even as our father, if there are 10 of us, and 6 vote yes, he will follow that yes. He will tell us his part, but he's not going to break even by adding his voice to it. He knows, so he will always take the majority vote and work with it. If there's any problem, he was very democratic in his processes. And I don't know, but that is the way we were brought up. We were not brought up to look down on anybody. Everybody was your equal. That is the word Kenetaba in Ijo. No head is more important. All heads are equal. So for my father that has passed on, I miss him in the sense that I don't have the person that will say, Rebecca, this is my opinion. What is your opinion? It's not there anymore. Who will it's a rap. Who will I rap with again? I have nobody to rap with. I can't rap with anybody again. So, because you talk to him, he will say something, you will say something, and you'll come to a consensus. And to me, that's a rap. You don't, that gentle talk is not forcing you. It's encouraging you to discuss. And that discourse was very lovely. And I pray that his soul rests in perfect peace and that we are all right with the kind of upbringing he has given us.
A father that we cannot replace, because it's only God that can give us somebody who can replace Ike Clark again. Because Ike Clark, irrespective of who you are, he will tell you the way it is. He has nobody in mind he specially loves or he specially hates. He loves everybody. He's a father to all, a father for everybody. He has spoken. He's an outspoken person. He's somebody that, if you know him, you will love to always be with him. He's a father that we miss. We in Niger Delta, we have missed him so much. And short, we cannot forget him. I love him so much. I miss him so much. He's a father. And may God Almighty, may his soul rest in peace wherever he is. He's a father. And wherever he is, he should bring another Ike Clark to the Niger Deltas. We will be so happy. Thank you and God bless you.